Welcome to Spur of the Moment. If you're new to our channel, I'm Levi, and my wife and I travel full-time in our RV, and we were just recently involved in an accident, so it's found us shopping for a new rig. And the question that we wanted to pose and put out there and kind of talk through is RV inspections. So we were involved in an accident about 5 or 6 weeks ago. So we have found ourselves basically homeless when you're full-time in your RV. We've been full-timing for about 10 months now, and we are currently in the market looking for another RV. We are staying at my parents right now, dog sitting and house sitting for them while they're on a Caribbean cruise. How nice. So here's Max. You can see him. Hey, buddy. He's camera shy. But we are staying here for a couple weeks while they're doing that, and we are currently in the market looking for our next rig. So the question is, do you get a pre-purchase RV inspection or not? Is there value added to that? Some say yes, some can't believe you want to spend the money on it. So I figure we would throw out a little update and talk through RV inspections. So one thing that we've been looking for is something to live full-time in. So if you go to any of the forums out there talking about full-time RV life, full-time RV living, you know, what rig is best for you to do that in. We live in the north, so obviously something with 4-season is critical for us, just so we have that extra insulation, the underbelly insulation, the things like that. So reading through a lot of the forums out there, one thing that people, pretty consensus, is pre-COVID models, right? Every brand seems to have a model that is ideal for full-time living, whether you want a bunkhouse or you want a front living or a rear living or whatever floor plan you want. But most people will suggest going pre-COVID. The quality just seems to be better. So we are looking for a used RV, and any RV owner will tell you that there's going to be issues. One of the things that we're afraid of is obviously things like, not really cosmetic, but propane leaks, frame issues, axle issues, roof issues, any signs of water intrusion, anything on the roof that would cause serious issues down the road. Those are things that are high on our list of things to look out for. We are not experts in RV engineering. We can see the cosmetic things. We can see some of the things that we've had issues with in the past. But in my opinion, to have that level of comfort going into a purchase, especially when you're spending a lot of money on something, getting it inspected is, for us, pretty critical. About a year ago, maybe 10 months ago, is when we bought our V-Light. We were buying it used. We did get an RV inspection done here locally. We're not affiliated with any RV inspectors. We're not RV inspectors ourselves, anything like that. So this is just straight from a consumer to other consumers. We paid about $500 for that RV inspection. It was very inclusive. There were a lot of pictures. I think there was like 500 or 600 point inspection where they went line by line, showed every little thing wrong with it, anything that could potentially be wrong with it. And if you have a good inspector, they can tell you, hey, this is wrong, and this is probably what it could cost to fix it. For example, if it was an awning that was torn or something like that, like, hey, awning's torn, but here's a place you can get an awning for, $500, $700, $1,000, something like that. Little things like that, but they can make sure that the water's working, the inverters are working, all the power outlets work, and we just find that it's an added level of comfort as you're going into a large purchase, especially if you are full timing. So if you move into a rig and within the first month you're finding major issues that need somebody beyond your capabilities to fix it, you're going to find yourself homeless again, which you don't want. So we are currently looking, and we've reached out to a lot of people. We're looking on Marketplace, we're looking at dealerships, we're looking at RV Trader. So we're looking all out there online. We've got a handful of models that we're dialed in on that we feel like we would really like. And then when you find them, a lot of times you reach out to the people and say, hey, I'd like to line up an RV inspection. And they kind of go, oh, why would you need that? Well, tell you a little story. Found a rig down in Georgia. Like I said, we're in Ohio. It was in Georgia, but it was quite a bit cheaper than we'd been seeing. So we wanted to pursue that. Did line up an RV inspection, and they went down, and within the first hour, the guy called me and said, hey, I'm going to stop and give you a call. I just want to let you know this RV's in rough shape. It didn't show it on the pictures that were on Facebook, but the door and the door frame are both busted pretty bad, like somebody tried to break into it. Also, it looks like it's been sitting a long time because there's signs of rat infestation all over it. And if you don't know, mice and rats love getting into that insulation, especially in the underbelly. But there's also a lot of conduit and electrical wires running all through there, and they'll chew those to pieces. So he called me and said, I'm just letting you know I would walk away. We took the inspector's advice and we walked away pretty quickly. That's not something that we wanted to deal with, but we're on board with the inspection process. I will say, like I said, about a year ago, we did get an RV inspection. It cost us $500. I'm not sure what is going on with the market, but it seems like that price has gone up now. We've tried to line up a couple other ones. Prices are ranging right now from anywhere from $800 for a pre-purchase inspection all the way up to $1,200. So just to prepare you for that, that is the prices that we're seeing right now. Looking at long term, I feel like that's still worth the value, especially if you're looking out of state or away from your area at a rig. So, tell you a little story too. We also went to a dealer. So a lot of people would think, hey, you go to a dealer, they do their own inspection, so you probably shouldn't need one. We went down in the Columbus area, and we're looking at a Grand Design Imagine. It was used. We went and took a look at it. Beautiful. Walked through it. Really liked it. As we were finishing up, I said, hey, can you guys run the slides in and out? I'd like to make sure that they're working okay. And sure enough, the Schwintek slide on the kitchen side came about halfway in and stopped, and then wouldn't go all the way back out, wouldn't come in. So they ended up having to dig into what was going on with that. Slide repairs is something, if we're going to buy a rig, we don't want to walk into something that's already having issues. So we pretty much walked away from that. But just those little things like that we feel like an inspector would find. I will say, on Facebook Marketplace, some of the things that we're seeing out there to be aware of is people that are selling rigs that are quite a bit cheaper than the market. Ask about a clean title, because there are a lot of rigs out there, especially when you get into like areas that have had bad weather related things like the Carolinas, Florida, Texas. You're going to see a lot of destruction titles or salvage titles. You also could see some rebuilt titles, but the destruction title means that you could live in it if it was stationary at a park or a campground, but it can't be registered to go on the road. Same with a salvage title. You can obviously buy it, you can get it titled in your name, but you're not going to be able to get that registered with a license plate to be able to travel without going through a lot of hoops with your BMV and state inspectors. It's just sounds like a real nightmare. We've never done it, but we've also been in a lot of conversations with people through Facebook Marketplace, and it takes a lot to get them to let me know if they have a clean title in hand or not. So just something else to be aware of. Yeah, if you're in the market and you're out there shopping, be aware of those salvage and destruction titles. They will be selling them quite a bit cheaper. So just be aware of that. But we are, like I said, we are currently in the market. We're looking. There's not a lot in our area, so we are branching out farther and farther, looking for that perfect rig to move into full time. So wish us luck there. And if you have any comments, if you feel like it's worth it to get an inspection, not worth it to get an inspection, drop a comment down below, see what you think. Also throw a comment on there if you're looking for a rig, where you're finding success. Is it at dealerships? Is it private sellers? I guess the other issue that you find with private sellers is they have their own life going on. Yeah, they're trying to sell a rig, but when you go to look at something, you want to be able to have the slides in and out. You want to be able to make sure all the power and everything's working. So, you need to make sure that they have power to that unit before you get there. We've shown up to places before, the slides were in, they had no way to power the rig where it's sitting to put the slides out, and you can't get a very good tour of a rig that has like opposing slides if the slides are in. So just things to communicate with the seller if you're the buyer on your expectations when you're going out to take a look at a rig. These are big purchases for us, and we feel that anything that you can do to add layers of comfort on your purchase and the long-term, I guess, viability of that rig is crucial for us. So we are going to spend the money to get an RV inspection done before we purchase anything. So that would be my advice to all of you out there that are currently shopping for one. Spend a little bit of money. It could be anywhere from $500 like it was a year ago all the way up to $1,100 or $1,200. But if you drop $20,000 or $30,000 on a used rig, you definitely don't want to have to put another $10,000 on top of that for a new roof because there's something wrong with it. So that would be my advice. We went online, found RV inspectors, emailed them, found out their prices, their availability. Most of them are hitting us back pretty quick. So that's the process we're following. And stay tuned, I guess, as we continue to shop, and we'll bring you guys updates as they come. But until then, I guess stay safe out there.